In Revenge of the Sith, Palpatine arrives on Mustafar to rescue Anakin after he has been burned. Palpatine lowers to the ground, placing his hand onto Anakin's hot, ruined skull in, might I say, a really weird and creepy way.
What are you doing?
However, what if in this moment, Anakin takes advantage of Palpatine's lowered defenses and reaches out with the Force, choking Palpatine before throwing him into the lava and killing him. Immediately, Anakin calls the Coruscant Guard to help their new Emperor. Anakin is taken back to Coruscant, where he is placed in the Darth Vader suit. In the original timeline, Palpatine had this suit designed to inflict pain upon Vader, to always remind him of his failures on Mustafar and that he is always at mercy to the Emperor. He was practically tortured every second of every day, with thousands of little needles digging into his skin. His helmet was extremely uncomfortable and he could never sleep, with the constant breathing waking him up in the night. But with Palpatine out of the picture, Anakin would ensure that his new suit isn't nearly as abhorrent. Vader's suit has been given a variety of upgrades. The helmet doesn't cover Anakin's face, only his mouth and chin are encased, just to allow for proper breathing. But there was never any point in having his eyes and head locked away. He looked more like a modern Darth Malgus. The needles were removed and he didn't live in constant pain. Anakin would quickly establish his empire following his surgery, and the galaxy would have to welcome him as their new leader. Anakin explained to the Senate that the Jedi gave him these injuries when he tried to save the Chancellor, but unfortunately he wasn't strong enough, and Palpatine lost his life to their cruel ways. He manipulated the Senate, and they fell right into his trap. Just like with Palpatine, Anakin was loved and revered by the public and Senate, and they welcomed his ascendancy to being Emperor of the Galaxy. Across the galaxy, Padme would still die on Polis Massa after Obi-Wan believed he had killed Anakin. Now obviously, he and Yoda would soon learn on the HoloNet that he didn't die, but for Padme's case this is irrelevant, and she dies after giving birth to Luke and Leia. They learned the truth on the way to Naboo for Padme's funeral, and both Jedi Masters were shocked and full of fear. When discussing the future of the two children, they believed it wouldn't be wise to send them away into hiding separately without training. Thus, they decided that after the funeral, they will both take the twins and travel to Dagobah, where they will train them in secret. This is different to the original timeline because Obi-Wan and Yoda both know that Anakin has survived, and they fear his power above anyone else. Obi-Wan had seen it firsthand, and now they know that he has killed Palpatine. And so they decide that the best course of action would be to train the twins and try and retake the galaxy, not slip away into hiding for decades to come.
Really quick, you know it's no wonder Anakin Skywalker fell to the dark side. The man clearly never slept. Nightmares, stress, late night council meetings, the Jedi Temple probably didn't even have blackout curtains. Honestly, I wouldn't last long in that environment either. And speaking of struggles, that brings me to today's sponsor, Manta Sleep. Now I've tried a lot of sleep masks in my time, and most of them felt like they were designed by the Sith. Too tight, too loose, itchy Velcro, or they just fall off halfway through the night. But the Manta Sleep Mask, total game changer. It's fully adjustable, has a premium, weighted feel, and honestly, it's like the Jedi robes of sleep masks. You can actually feel it helping you drift off. I've been using the Manta weighted mask, and their extra gentle pressure. It's like a mind trick for your face. My sleep has gone from tossing and turning to peaceful deep rest, like I've been put into carbonite. And with summer on the way, we all know the sun's staying up later, shining brighter, and throwing off our circadian rhythms. Manta Sleep blocks out every trace of light, no matter how long the sun's up, so you can stay balanced in the Force. Whether you need blackout, cooling, or even sound blocking options, Manta's got it. And they're leading the pro-nap movement for a reason. So take back control of your sleep space, head to Manta's website and use code FANTASY for a discount. Because when you nap like a Jedi, you don't wake up like a Sith. Now back to the video.
As for Anakin, now the Emperor, he rules from Coruscant with an iron fist. He declares that his empire will bring peace and order. Early policies in his empire dictate the construction of multiple Death Stars after being extremely intrigued with the ideas he found after Palpatine's death. He saw the Death Star as a necessary force to ensure every planet would submit to the Empire. He created a new post in the Senate called the Emperor, which gave him the same powers as the Chancellor, except his word was final. Even if the Senate voted 99-1, if he was the minority, his vote wins. Anakin placed an extremely strong focus on the military, and unlike Palpatine, Anakin was very pleased with the clone troopers, and he doubled the efforts on Kamino, ensuring that each world would have clone battalions protecting them. The clones were only people nice to him now. Perhaps it was their programming, but nevertheless, they didn't look at him like he was a monster. Very quickly after the fall of the Republic, Anakin became fixated on Padme's death. He began abandoning the day-to-day governance of the galaxy to loyalists like Mas Amedda and other regional governors, while he secretly devotes all of his time, resources, and power to uncovering the secrets of life and death. He wanted to bring Padme back. He wanted his wife. He drove himself into a deep depression and became secluded. Anakin constructs a massive underground sanctuary beneath the ruins of the old Jedi temple and transforms it into a shrine for Padme. Her lifeless body, which he retrieved from Naboo after the day of the funeral, lay at the heart of the shrine. It was twisted, and Anakin had grown crazy, but he believed he could use the Force to bring her back. Anakin hated his life, and his depression took on new heights. He gets constant visions of Padme calling out to him to bring her back, but it's just the Force playing tricks on him, premonitions sent to mock him. But he seeps into the visions and becomes obsessed. Whispers begin to spread throughout the galaxy of the Mad Emperor. Scientists and medical experts began conducting experiments to bring people back, but every single attempt fails, and Anakin falls deeper into his own shell. He convinced himself that it was the will of the Force that Padme came back to life. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan and Yoda begin training Luke and Leia in the Force. Dagobah was a strong planet in the Force, and gave the children a strong base to start practicing on. Yoda's speciality was raising younglings to Padawans, and very quickly he grew the twins into powerful Force users. Though it helped that they were both extremely gifted in the Force, like their father, it was their effort and constant training that made them accelerate. By the age of 5, Luke could balance small stones the size of trees, and Leia's senses allowed her to communicate with animals. They worked on Force levitation, mind tricks, Force sense, every ability a Jedi may need. As they grew, Obi-Wan introduced training sabers, and they began their lessons of wielding saber swords. Luke was taught Form 5 and Leia Form 2. As the years went on, the two grew extremely powerful and worthy. Luke was known for his innate strength in lightsaber combat and his proficiency in sensing his opponent's next moves. But it was Leia that was the true prodigy. Her Force powers rivaled her father, and even Kenobi didn't think that Anakin was this gifted when he began training. By the time the children turn 18 years old and become adults, they are extremely powerful Jedi Knights. 18 years after Padme's death, Anakin has grown into a Mad Emperor who does nothing for his empire. Mas Amedda is the one truly in control and making the decisions, while Anakin wallows away beneath the Jedi Temple. As the years passed, Anakin's empire begins to crumble from within. Grand Admiral Thrawn grew extremely tired of Anakin's absence and lack of care. He didn't believe Anakin deserved to be Emperor. The Grand Admiral begins plotting a coup with the other officers to get Anakin away from the throne. Thrawn invites Anakin to Sereno, telling him that he thinks he's found a powerful Sith artifact that could help him in his quest to bring back the dead. Anakin immediately jumps at this. He will do anything to bring Padme back. Thrawn wasted no time in solidifying his grip on the Empire. With Anakin gone, he moves swiftly, ensuring that every major figure within the Imperial hierarchy was either loyal to him or removed from power. The Imperial officers, who were all tired of a Mad Emperor who had long abandoned his duties, welcomed Thrawn's ascension without resistance. By this point, they had all forgotten Anakin as the hero of the Clone Wars and the man who fought to protect Chancellor Palpatine. He was now hated and despised by everyone. The Grand Admiral was cold, calculated, and ruthlessly efficient. He knew that if the Empire were going to survive, it needed structure, order, and most of all, a leader who actually cared for its future. With Anakin distracted by his obsession with Padme, Thrawn took full advantage, orchestrating a seamless transition of power. The Imperial Senate, which at this point was reduced to a puppet institution under Anakin, leaving Thrawn with absolute control. The military was reforged into an unbreakable machine, streamlined under Thrawn's command. Officers who had once feared Anakin's wrath now swore their loyalty to the brilliant Chiss strategist, seeing him as the true savior of the Empire. Propaganda swept throughout the galaxy, painting Anakin Skywalker as a failed ruler who abandoned his empire for his own selfish desires, while Thrawn was depicted as the leader who would save them all. Coruscant was locked down, its defenses reinforced, its security doubled, and any remaining loyalists to Anakin were swiftly dealt with. The Imperial Palace was stripped of all reminders of the fallen Emperor, and decorations were made to the Chiss. He had done what he sought to do. This all happened within the space of 48 hours. Before Anakin realized that he had been betrayed, it was too late, and he had lost complete control. No one sided with him. Anger seethed within him, and he became as hot as molten lava. He planned his return, and knew that Thrawn would pay for his treachery with his head. Word of Thrawn's rise to power spreads across the galaxy. On Dagobah, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Luke and Leia feel the shift. Yoda and Kenobi know it's time to return to the galaxy. They have waited, hidden, and trained the next generation of Jedi, but now they must return. The final battle is coming. Luke and Leia are both 18 years of age and are both almost nearing the final level of power as a Jedi Master. That is due to the Chosen One bloodline's power. Across the galaxy on Sereno, Anakin relishes in his anger. He hadn't felt this much rage and hate consume him since Mustafar, since he saw his wife and Kenobi. His ship lifts off, cutting through the sky, heading towards Coruscant. He will take back what is his. As he travels, Thrawn prepares. His fleet is massive. Hundreds of Star Destroyers wait in space, positioned around Coruscant, weapons ready. They know that Anakin is coming. They are ready to stop him, but they do not understand his power. The moment Anakin comes out of hyperspace, the fleet surrounds him. The ships open fire immediately, with turbo lasers streaking through space, but Anakin is not afraid. He is the Chosen One, and he calls upon the Force, and something happens that has never happened before. Lightning does not come from his hands, it comes from the sky itself. The Force bends to his will, and the storm begins. Bolts of lightning strike down from the heavens, crashing into the fleet. Blue energy rips through the ships, shields fall, hulls explode. The entire fleet has been destroyed by Anakin's rage, and as his yellow eyes return, a small smile grazes his lips. He flies through the wreckage, through the fire and debris, through the remains of Thrawn's forces. The sky over Coruscant glows with burning metal, the storm still raging. He enters the atmosphere. The citizens of Coruscant look up in fear. The Mad Emperor has returned. Anakin moves through the sky like a storm. Every enemy that stands in his way falls. He cuts down soldiers, destroys vehicles, and smashes through barriers like there is nothing that can stop him. The streets are filled with the battle as people of Coruscant watch in terror as the fight spreads. Fires burn, explosions shake the ground, and the sky is still filled with the smoke from the destroyed fleet. But while Anakin rages forward, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Luke and Leia slip through the chaos using the battle as their cover. They make their way to the Jedi Temple, which looks very different to how they left it. It is no longer a place of peace, but it is the heart of the Empire. Inside, the throne room waits with Thrawn inside, watching the battle fold as he tries to calculate what to do next. But even he is worried. Anakin crashes through the final defenses and reaches the throne room at last. The doors burst open as Anakin sees Thrawn atop his chair. Skywalker calls out to the Chiss, telling him that the Empire is his, that he's sitting on his throne. Thrawn has taken everything from him, and now he will take it back. But then, from the shadows, Obi-Wan, Yoda, Luke, and Leia appear. Thrawn begins to laugh as he asks Anakin how he will defeat him if he has 4 Jedi to fight. Anakin scoffs as the battle begins. The Sith Lord fights harder than ever before. His power is beyond anything the galaxy has seen, and Kenobi immediately recognizes that Anakin has grown extremely powerful. He wields the Force like a weapon, stronger than any Jedi or Sith before him. Lightning erupts from his hands, from the ground and from the sky. Obi-Wan, Yoda, Luke and Leia fight together, their lightsabers flashing as they wield their colorful blades. The battle is fierce. Anakin moves like a storm, striking with power beyond anything the Jedi have ever faced. His blade clashes against Obi-Wan's, the old master barely keeping up. He will break Kenobi, he will destroy him. But then Yoda leaps forward, his green lightsaber flashing with perfect precision. Anakin blocks, but before he can counter, the 2 younger Jedi attack. He doesn't know them, but their skill is undeniable. They have immediately earned his respect. Leia swings upward while Luke thrusts for his stomach. Anakin deflects Leia's blade whilst using the Force to push Luke's saber back. He hurls himself at Obi-Wan, rage burning through him. Every strike is meant to break, to destroy, but Yoda is too fast, and he uses his agility to leap over Anakin time and time again. His blade cuts close, forcing Anakin back. Luke and Leia attack together, their movements perfectly in sync. Anakin snarls and summons lightning from the ceiling, forcing them back, but Yoda leaps through the storm, his saber flashing. Obi-Wan follows, pressing the attack. Anakin fights harder, but the Jedi are too many. Luke and Leia strike from both sides. Anakin's anger flourishes as he waves both of his hands into the air and shoots lightning at Luke and Leia. But before the streaks could collide with the Jedi, Yoda stands in front, absorbing the blast. The old Grand Master crumbles to the floor. He is dead. Obi-Wan moves over to Yoda whilst Luke uses the distraction of Yoda's death to his advantage as pain in his mind radiates. But he doesn't let it stop him. Luke's blade slams into the side of Anakin and pain erupts through the new Emperor. He stumbles. Leia's saber follows, slicing into his shoulder. Anakin roars, his body betrays him. The Jedi step forward together, and once and for all, they kill Anakin Skywalker. With Anakin dead, the fight is over. Thrawn is taken away in chains, and the Jedi move to take control over the planet. When the Senate and people see the Jedi return, many senators immediately come to their aid, including Bail Organa and Mon Mothma, who help to explain to the galaxy that manipulation and tyranny has engulfed it for 2 decades. The people of the galaxy were tired and broken from years of war and fear, and now they finally see a future without tyranny. Bail Organa and the rebel leaders step forward to help reclaim Coruscant as the heart of a new republic. The Senate is restored and order begins to return. Across the stars, planets long trapped under the Empire's rule began to rebuild, their people celebrating their freedom, knowing the dark days are finally over. Obi-Wan works tirelessly to rebuild the Jedi Order and ensure that the galaxy has a group of people to protect them. The children of Anakin Skywalker now carry the future of the Jedi, with Luke and Leia becoming co-Grand Masters. Finally, peace was ensured for the galaxy, and Anakin's dark rule, combined with years of pain and suffering for everyone, was over. The Empire is gone, the Sith are no more, and now finally, there is peace forever. Thank you all for watching today's video. Please check out our saber shop, Fantasy Sabers, where you can get your very own NeoPixel saber for an affordable price, and fulfill your childhood dreams of becoming a Jedi or Sith. Also check out our membership platform to be able to watch our videos early, and may the Force be with you.